Hey friends, happy 2021. Goodbye 2020. I have a little activity for us for the new year. And we're going to start this activity with a little bit of movement. We're going to do what's called a four-wall dance. Okay? Now a four-wall dance, if you think of four walls, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going to make a square. And it's not a square dance, that's something different. But a four-wall dance is where you do a dance facing one direction, and then you change and you do the same dance facing another direction, and then you go backwards and you do the same dance facing the backwards direction, and then you turn and you do the fourth wall, and then you return where you started. That's a four-wall dance. And we're going to start off really simple. This is a very basic four-wall dance. So what I need you to do is find a little space, and it doesn't have to be a big giant space. It only has to be about 3 feet by 3 feet, maybe even smaller if you don't have that kind of room. If you have a tile floor, did you know that the tiles on your floor are usually, not always, but usually those tiles are 1 foot by 1 foot. So if you think of 3 tiles this way, that's 3 feet. If you think of 3 tiles this way and 3 tiles back and make a square out of that dimension, that's going to be a 3 by 3 square. So that's about all the room you need, just so you don't bump into anything. Now you're going to label these corners 1, 2, 3, and 4. That kind of helps in my head. And it kind of looks like this little diagram here. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to stand on those corners and kind of visualize what that looks like. So the very first corner that you're going to stand on is the number 1 corner. So you're going to come up here to the number 1 corner, and then you're going to move over to the number 2 corner. And then the number 3 corner is backwards. And the number 4 corner is over here. Now, for now, we'll just return back to the number 1 corner up on the front, on the top right-hand side, if you can think of it as the top right-hand corner. Okay? Now, our steps are going to be this, and I'm going to show you with my hands, and then I'll show you with my feet. So your steps are going to be, you start on that first corner, number 1 corner, and you're going to go side together, side together. Okay? So we'll go side together, side together. When you go from number 2 corner to the number 3 corner, you're going to go backwards, back together, and then to go from number 3 corner to the number 4 corner, you're going to go with your right foot first, side together, side together. Now we're not going to go walking straight back up to the first corner just yet. In fact, we're going to kind of turn it around. This is a part of a four-wall dance called the turnaround, where you are going to jump 2 times and you're going to pivot to your right. Okay, always to the right, no matter what direction you're facing, always pivot to your right. So it's going to be jump, jump, pivot to the right. Okay, now that we're facing to the right, the place that you're standing now becomes corner number 1. Oh, okay, and you're going to walk the same direction. So you're going to go to your left, and this to the left is going to be corner number 2. Side together, side together. And then you're going to go back together, and then to your right, right together, and then you guessed it, jump, jump, pivot. Hey, where'd you go? I can't see you anywhere. Well, I'm facing backwards. So you kind of get the idea. Let me show you a little video of my bare feet in my living room doing this. I did this last weekend. Check this out and see if you can follow along. Here we go. Left together, back together, right together, jump, jump, pivot. Left together, back together, right together, jump, jump, pivot. Left together, back together, right together, jump, jump, pivot. Left together, back together, right together, jump, jump, pivot. All right, now I'm gonna add some words to it. So can you do that dance, that 4-wall dance? And if you need to practice it a time or two, that's fine. Just hit pause and practice it. But I'm gonna say some different words that are not the left together, and so forth. I'm just going to say these words. Are you ready? Start on spot number 1 on your corner. Here we go. Here we go. Take a little walk, go around the block. 21 is here, jump into the new year. Take a little walk, go around the block. 21 is here, jump into the new year. Take a little walk, go around the block. 21 is here, jump into the new year. Take a little walk, go around the block. 21 is here, jump into the new year. Okay, so you're gonna practice that little dance move and those words because we're gonna come back to it, but we're gonna make some music first with it. And this is something I've got, it's called a launch pad. And it's a physical keyboard that is kind of like the keyboard on your computer. If you type keys on your keyboard, it'll type words and letters and numbers, but this controls musical sounds. So it's like a musical keyboard for your computer that controls things called loops and pads. And so I'm going to show you a little bit of that. Now, you probably don't have one of these, but there's a couple of places that you can get to it. You can get to a virtual one of these online that you can use with your mouse and do exactly the same thing that I'm doing. You can, I will leave a link in the description of this video on YouTube, but you can also go into my Bitmoji classroom. And if you don't know that address, it is bit.ly, which is bit.ly/Thaxton Music. All one word, THAXTONMUSIC. And if you go there and you go to my instrument room, you'll see one of these Novation launch pads sitting on the floor. If you click on that and the link that's embedded in that, it will take you to a website that has this. Or you can also use the one that's in the YouTube, like I said. So when I plug this little thing in, magic happens. It connects to my computer and makes this thing light up. So over here, this will be, you'll get to a web page that has this pattern on it, basically. And it will have some words too, it's kind of helpful. So if you start here, these are loops. That's a drum loop. Here's another drum loop. It adds it in. When it turns green, it means it's going. When it turns red, it means it's off. Here it's turning off. So you can only hear the second drum loop, okay? So this row has bass sounds on it. So I'll get a little bass going on there. Kind of quiet, that one is. If I push it again, it makes it stop. This one is, I believe, it's a melody pad. Right there. And I can make it stop a couple of ways. If I push this red button underneath it, it will make it stop. Or I can push this white button and make it pause. So if I pause, I can pause and unpause it just by lifting up my finger. But the red button will stop it for good. Now, these two columns of buttons are what are called pads. And those are things that we can touch and they will play a sound. It's not a loop, it's just a sound that'll hit one time and it'll play it exactly when we do. These are all scratch pads, so it makes a record scratch sound. Or this row is called the vocal pad. So if I push it for a long time, that guy sings a long time, but if I push it for a short time, you can vary how you push it. So these two rows are kind of where you would play around with it for a while. Oh, that one I just accidentally hit, that's a sound effect pad. So online, you're going to get something that looks very similar to this. In fact, it looks exactly like this. And you can do all of the same stuff on here using your mouse. Or if you have a touch screen, you can touch those. So you can add sounds and layer them and even use the pads. Now when you're done with that, playing around, and you've got a nice set that you like, you can do your dance with it. You can get up and you can do your chant, take a little walk, go around the block, 21 is here, jump into the new year, and you can put your dance with it. So you have a lot of choices of things you can do. And if you really want to get fancy, you could film yourself and send it to me either on Dojo or on my email, dthaxton@washoschools.net. I hope you have a really fun time playing around with this and creating and inventing your own grooves and your own moves. I'd love to see them. And happy 21 to you.